Hello, Internet. Welcome to Antiheroes Anomalous. Unless you've been here before, in which case, welcome back. I'm Nick, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons show.
Show.
Before we get started, let us go around the room for introductions.
I think these start with me.
Mhm.
Hi, I'm Ethan, and I play Slim, who is a plasmoid Kensei monk.
Hi, I'm Kay, and I play Celine, who is an ASMR phantom rogue. Yep.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Jacket, the Order of the Scribes wizard.
Hi, I'm Gabo, and I play Phaedric, who is now a Pact of the Chain warlock.
Thanks, everyone. We premiere episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We have a few custom items and some very notable differences from the published adventure. I think that you will like them. The character portraits on the info cards and layout are by our very own Kay Cal. And I would like to pause for a second to acknowledge that Kay did an absurd amount of illustration and asset creation in the service of a gimmick she knew nothing about. So let's give her a hand.
Aw,
Have a
Thanks,
hand,
guys.
Kay.
it was fun. I do collect hands, so
Let's see. You can check the video description for links and information, as well as links to Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, and trans rights resources. You can follow us on co-host at Antiheroes. And please enjoy the show and share it with your friends. And now let us roll the intro. And now we're almost ready to get started, but first, a short recap. Our party awoke on slabs in the mortuary of Sigil, with no memory of how they got there. After some harrowing escapes, they made it up to the streets of the metropolis above. There, they hired a tout named Jenny to show them around and answer their many questions about the city and its factions, although she had no idea what caused their amnesia. They decided to go find lodgings in the lower ward, but before they could get more than a few steps from the smoldering corpse bar, a pair of assassins struck and killed Phaedric. But to their surprise, they found another version of Phaedric alive and well not far away, introducing yet another mystery. And now we will pick up right from there. The four of you are going with Jenny to the lodgings that she told you about in the lower ward. She leads you through the streets of the Hive, and at some point, the buildings get a little bit nicer, a little less run down and haphazardly built. The absolute throngs and mobs on the streets thin a little bit, making it easier to walk around. And you realize eventually that you're in a different part of Sigil, as she welcomes you to the lower ward. You can see on the map, kind of in the upper right of where I've got the poster map here. I think I put you all on it.
I can see it, yep.
All right, so a little bit to the left of the Bedrock Inn, kind of like way to the upper right of this map. Yeah, you'll see a place called the Bedrock Inn, which I think I said. I meant a little bit to the left of Bones in the Night is the Bedrock Inn. And Jess says, well, here we are. Bedrock Inn.
right.
How does the Bedrock Inn look?
When you go inside, she leads you inside, and there is a mostly empty sort of tap room of the sort that you usually find in inns and taverns and things, or at least taverns that host guests. This one, almost no one except for a pair of very strange-looking rocky creatures are eating. And there is a guardian in the along the entrance as you pass through into the building. That is a very like big, mean-looking sort of bull made entirely out of silver. And behind the counter, sort of running the place, is a very wide, blocky-looking woman in elaborate costuming and just decked out to the nine in jewels, who kind of like waves and gives a surly welcome to you. Welcome to the Bedrockian. Will you be wanting to stay the night? How many rooms?
Slim will look to the group and say, well, I know that Celine and I could share a room. I'm really easy. I just need a little bucket and I'll slouch into that and be a puddle until morning. But what about the rest of you? 1 room? 2 rooms? Your own rooms?
I would like to ask how much it costs for a room.
1 room, 5 silver a night. Pillows extra.
How much extra?
1 silver per.
Per pillow?
Yes.
May I ask why they're at such a premium?
Pillows are for the weak.
Can I insight check her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's garbage. That's that's a 5.
Yeah, she's sort of intimidating. Your attempts to read her demeanor and figure out if she's on the level are just sort of sputter out in the gaze of her just like very stony glare.
If any of you are looking to save a penny or two, you're welcome to use me as a pillow. I'm very form-fitting to the head.
Maybe we could bundle it together and have some sort of package deal. Multiple rooms, multiple pillows.
A room is 5 silver a night. A pillow is 1.
I have an extra set of clothes that I could use as a pillow for myself, so I would just need a room.
1 room, 2.
And I plop down. Did you say it was 5 silver for a room?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I plopped down 5 silver just for me and Slim.
Yeah, I'll 1 room and 2 pillows, please. Whatever. 7 silver.
All right.
1. Never mind.
She reaches into a cabinet behind her and pulls out a couple of like not super comfortable looking pillows. They're these really like sort of thin and not very well stuffed pillows, but they are there. And says, "Follow me." And she leads you upstairs to a very who goes first? I guess she'll take Celine first because Celine paid first.
Mm-hmm.
So she leads Celine and Slim into the room where there are 2, rather than like, there aren't really beds in here. There are 2 completely flat slabs of marble raised off of the ground. And she motions for you, Celine, to lie down on the slab. And says, "Lie there, in the position that you wish to sleep in."
All right. I comply probably because I'm apprehensive of what would happen if I didn't.
You like get up on this marble slab and like sort of like, are you a side sleeper or a back sleeper?
We'll say a side sleeper.
Yeah, you sort of like get on your side in this like very hard surface, and when she sees that you're like still, she reaches onto the marble, and you feel this pulse of energy go through it, and there's this sort of like rumbling sound and sensation as the marble shapes the contour exactly to your body. So
Nice.
you're just like halfway in to this like marble slab, and it's not like comfortable, but it does feel oddly good.
Yeah. It's like your spine is perfectly aligned.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the most supportive mattress you've ever used.
Yes,
in your
it's exactly like that.
life. So I think she'll just kind of go, oh, we ought to look into installing these on the Spelljammer. It's actually quite pleasant.
She repeats the process for the rest of you. Slim, I think for you, she doesn't even bother like getting your measurements. Basically, like you see her just like put her hands on the marble slab, and this sort of like indentation, this concavity forms.
I was going to say, just make a bowl or a tub, and I'll just
she's
in.
dealt with plasmoids before very clearly.
Thank you.
And then she goes to repeat the process for Jacket and Phaedric in the other room.
So, are we like restrained by these beds?
No, it's not like you're trapped within them. It's just like they fit your body exactly.
So just the under part, or like where we're resting upon, they don't wrap around.
Like
no.
She made a mold of our body
Got
basically with this rock.
Yeah. This is your bed. It was made for you.
Lovely. All right. Shall we get to sleep?
Yeah. Jenny is kind of the proprietor goes downstairs after you're done. And Jenny just kind of hangs around and says, "All right, well, I'll see y'all at light. I recommend, word of warning, I would not take meals here. If you get hungry, suggest finding food elsewhere."
Noted. All right.
Do you have any recommendations?
Well, I will be around, like I said, at first light, and if y'all want recommendations for breakfast, then we can talk. For now, I would just say nighty night, and I'll see you in the morning. I'm heading back to my own kip.
All right.
Thank you for everything, Jenny.
Pleasure. And she leaves. Is there anything that the four of you want to talk about once you're all settled in?
This was in the lower ward, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything to talk about. I do want to spend some time with this compass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And attune to it, I guess.
Yeah. That sort of reminds me. I want to retcon one slight thing. Jacket, you were with the body longest. You have in your possession the bolt coated in the poison that killed Phaedric, which you were able to extract from that body.
Perfect. Okay. And then I'll also mention to the group, I also can cast Identify if we wanted me to examine some of these items a little bit more closely.
Well, if you'd like to identify this compass that we got, be my
Certainly.
guest.
Yep, and he'll take the compass and he'll cast Identify as a ritual
Yeah, you can do that.
for this, and I suppose we can do the bolt as well. Yeah. We do.
Yeah. For the bolt, you don't find anything magical about it. It's an ordinary bolt coated in dried flecks of poison. You're able to get that much, but there's nothing really that the identify spell can tell you about it.
But could I take a look at like the craftsmanship of the bolt? As someone whose monastery revolved around different weapons and mastery of them, I just wonder if I might be able to glean something from the craftsmanship of it.
I also, my parents, my father's, they had an apothecary, and I am somewhat versed in poisons. I have proficiency with the poisoner's kit, so perhaps I could take a look at the poison, see if I can identify that.
Okay. Let's start with Slim. Why don't you make what kind of check would this be? I think just probably intelligence.
Okay. See how this goes. Oh, that's pretty good. 16?
Okay. The bolt is not of a wood that you're familiar with. But what I think kind of what you notice about it rather than the wood itself is the way that it's capped with these metal bands that are like sort of it's got this metal tip, and then back around the other end is also a metal band to kind of like keep it stabilized. The metal is very peculiar. It's copper, and as you feel it in your hand, you notice that this bolt is perfectly balanced. And so why don't you for Celine, let's see here. What kind of check would this be? Are you proficient with Poisoner's Kit?
Yes.
You are.
Yes.
Yeah, so go ahead and make an intelligence check with proficiency from that Poisoner's Kit.
Okay. Yeah. So proficiency is 2. So this is a +5. Got it. Okay. Oh, natural 20
Hey.
Oh, snap.
Hey.
on my Celine die with the liquid core. I think that's the first natural 20 I've rolled on this.
Yeah. I will say with that natural 20, you're able to identify very easily this is not a poison you're familiar with. And you're familiar with a lot of poisons. This is an exotic poison. It seems probably unique, probably like homebrewed by somebody, using strange ingredients that you've not encountered before.
Okay. Well, if anything, I can rule out a very long list of poisons that this isn't. I would probably be very it would be very easy, I would imagine, to recognize this poison in other places now that I've studied it, I would assume. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you've identified it well enough that if you found this poison on somebody else's person, it would be an easy match. You wouldn't even have to roll for it. But you don't know exactly what it is. So for the identify spell in the compass, Jacket, you learned that this is a compass of tracking, which I'm gonna give you the link for. Basically, the wielder of this compass can use it to cast locate creature once a day. And I think you noticed by now, by the time that you examine it, when you had it, it had this like central image of Phaedric's face in the middle, and it was like pointing this way and that. By the time you examine it, that image has faded because the spell wore off.
Okay, so I will give that information to everybody. Trying to get this link to work so I can actually look at the item, but it's not working.
Oh, it might be. I might not have made it public.
Oh, I think we're good. I opened
Okay.
a different browser.
Oh, okay.
Once for a long rest. Okay.
Yeah, I've got it in my inventory currently.
Mhm.
So if you explain what it does to us, I think it doesn't take an insight check to show that Selene is extremely interested in keeping it.
Yeah, Celine also, or not Celine, Slim also forms an eyebrow on his head and raises it and kind of like looks at Celine like with a nod.
I just hold my hand out for it back.
Yeah, so Jacket will hand the compass back to Celine and explain what he found.
This could be extremely beneficial for us, considering we have a new target.
Can you imagine if we had something like this before?
Oh, it would have made life so much easier. I didn't even know something like this existed.
This is incredibly useful.
I'm definitely keeping it with me now.
So, between this unique poison that even you can't identify, and this bolt, which I was at least able to determine is extremely fine and precise, made with strange copper metal. Was it copper? Yes. I think we can at least say that we're dealing with someone who knows what they're doing. Yes?
Yes. Quite clearly. That was definitely a hit. What happened?
But why?
Still
Why
wondering who I
Phaedric?
pissed off. Yeah.
Exactly, we just got here.
Why aren't any of us here?
Yeah.
Given what happened with Phaedric, I think everything's connected. And whoever this tiefling is that hired the hit out on poor Phaedric is going to have the answers for us.
Oh yeah, what above table. What did we do with the guy that because we grabbed him, knocked him out, that we just
Took his stuff and left, didn't we?
Yeah, I think you
did we
let him go.
knock him out or did we shank him?
You did not.
Oh, wait.
I remember specifically that Slim knocked him out.
Right, okay.
Oh no, it was Phaedric who did it, but I asked Phaedric and I was like, "Is this a killing blow?" And Phaedric said, "No, I'm not knocking him out." Yeah. So yeah, he's somewhere.
Oh, we did steal this compass and his money.
Yeah.
Wait.
Off of him.
Phaedric added the money, right? I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I
correct?
gave
Yes.
it to Phaedric.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Little rough
Reparations.
Yeah. Little recompense for dying, but well, I am not sure what to do, except Jenny's coming back in the morning. Perhaps if we show her the poison and the arrow and ask her about the tiefling, we could find a lead.
Better place to start as any, I suppose.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Can I ask, do the two of you remember where you're from at all? It's been bothering me. I can't seem to remember the name of the city that I'm from.
I don't think we do,
I-
right?
I don't.
Is it in your backstory?
No. So I don't.
So you don't.
If it's in
I
my
rem-
backstory, then
If you have it written in your backstory, then you remember it. That was the rule.
yeah, I mean, I remember where I'm from. So then I would say yes, I actually do remember where I'm from.
Where is it?
a small and now destroyed village. Not super helpful.
We have that in common. The colony that I grew up in has also been destroyed.
Oh wait, never mind then. In that case, I do remember I am from a small village.
Has it been destroyed?
No, but it was attacked.
Okay. Well,
And
then there's a common point, I suppose. We're all from somewhere that was attacked, and many of the locations we were from were destroyed.
Did
That's
the Gith
something.
Yankee get you too? They seem to be out on a rampage.
can't remember who did it. I just remember my dad fought to defend it and didn't make it.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Gith Yankee before today.
Then count yourself lucky.
So.
Terrible and fearsome creatures. Hateful.
They sure seem easily angered, at least.
Excellent
Quick to-
opponents if you're looking for a good fight.
They're very skilled warriors and have very little in the way of empathy.
I'll have to watch out for them, I suppose.
Well, I suppose we ought to get some sleep. Phaedric, are you alright, by the way?
Yeah. I mean, I feel fine.
You look positively healthy, robust even.
Glowing.
Yes. Not that I'm not familiar with that, being of a similar lineage.
Oh yeah, before this I hadn't really met people like me.
Me neither. But I can see the mark of the divine when I can know the mark of the divine when I see it. Anyway, I do believe there's a reason we're here. I'm going to keep saying that until we discover what that reason is. But I'm at least glad to have a group that seems skilled enough to come back from the dead, at any rate.
Let's try not to
Yeah.
repeat that, though.
Yes,
I was gonna say.
that was quite terrible. Let's be on our guard as we go on. No more giving money to young children, perhaps?
Bad move in general.
All right. Well, if there's no other conversation that night, then y'all can all take a long rest.
I think Phaedric is gonna, if there is a place where he can be alone for a few minutes, he'll take that opportunity and like try to reach out to his patron
Mhm.
and just ask.
Yeah. Where do you go for this?
Am I sharing a room with someone, or is it just me?
I think you're sharing a room with Jacket.
Okay,
Unless
okay.
you guys wanted to pay for your own rooms.
Yeah.
No, it was a campaign for both of us. I think if there's like a rooftop or something, maybe like
Mhm.
outside, I think he needs some fresh air.
Okay. Yeah, you can ask the proprietress to go up on the roof, and she'll begrudgingly let you.
Spotter another silver.
Yeah, so you have some what passes for privacy in Sigil. It's hard to get away from completely from prying eyes, being that
Mhm.
not only are the crowds on the ground, there are also flying creatures
Yeah.
that are in the air, but it is nighttime. There's no sun in the sky that you can see, or moon, but it does get brighter and darker according to a similar cycle of night and day. And the light has ebbed. It's dark now.
I think it's not so much about the privacy, it's more about like having a moment to seemingly himself
Yeah.
to like compose himself and like kind of start processing the fact that he's died and he saw himself die, but somehow he's here. And also he was targeted for some reason, and that doesn't make sense to him because he's like, I haven't been here that long. I try to do good. Like, that's his whole thing. So he just, what's going on? I think he's just gonna try to reach out. See, like, are you there?
It is.
You know what's happening?
Yeah, it's sort of difficult to reach out in that way. You don't remember a lot about your past, but you do have some sense of how this used to go, because you feel like you've done it before. This all feels like a very practiced ritual for you to reach out and try and make contact with your patron. But here in Sigil, it feels like that connection is like, it's like trying to talk to somebody underwater. It's like you put the message out there, but there's this like suffusing haze of something between you and your patron. And it's hard to know if you're making contact or if the words are getting through or if your patron is trying to talk back. Has that ever happened?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so you're just kind of like up here, like eyes closed, focused harder and harder, trying to pierce this weird veil that feels like it's this curtain that's dropped up on you, preventing you from being in full contact with your deity. And then you hear a small voice from right next to you. This is Phaedric.
Oh. I look next to me.
Next to you on the roof, sitting just sort of like perched on, I guess like a nearby chimney, on the edge of it, looking down at you, there is a red-feathered dove, just like trying very carefully to eke out a perch on this razor vine covered, just sort of like chimney way. Like there's razor vine everywhere in the city. If it's not paired, if people are not actively beating it back, it's like kudzu that's dangerous. And it's trying very carefully not to damage its little claws on the razor vine as it softly coos out to you.
I think I'll extend an arm out to it.
Yeah,
see if it can pitch
it
on me.
gratefully hops off of its with a little flap of wings, hop off the razor vine choked chimney and onto your arm. And says, Phaedric, I have a message for you. Your patron is here in Sigil and wishes to speak. Seek him out at the face of Gith. Take your time in reaching him, for he is patient, but do not leave Sigil without seeing him.
Okay, I will. Thank you. I pet its little head.
Yeah. And the red feathered dove flies back off to where it came from.
What was the location?
Yeah.
The face of Gith, which is sort of north of where you are. It's also in the lower ward.
I see.
Oh.
I think for a moment he feels like an ease washes over him as he's obviously he has companions, but that is a very important tie to him. So he feels at ease. He's glad to know that he hasn't been forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that he'll steady himself again and go back inside, take a rest.
Okay. All right. The four of you, like I said, can take a long rest.
Ooh. I am going to use my Whispers of the Dead feature to swap out my history proficiency to an insight proficiency.
Ooh, that's cool.
I like that. Jacket, are you going to prepare any new spells today? Just reminding you that you can do that. You're a wizard.
I may actually. Let me look.
All right.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. Jenny comes to meet you at first light, like she said, and is sort of downstairs in the tap room waiting for you as you all emerge from your rooms in whatever order that is. And says, all right, now, y'all ready to, she kind of holds out her hand, does a little motion.
I thought we paid her for a.
I'm just kidding. Y'all ain't gonna have to pay me again until after peak. We're good.
Yeah, I feel like that's everything. Celine doesn't say anything, but everything I just said was on her face, like very clearly. Like, wait a minute. Good. We do have some questions for you.
Yeah, so well, I guess I should hear questions first. But I did I got them jobs that y'all were talking about. You know, I'm ready to
excellent.
tell y'all if you need some work, if you're still looking for Jink.
Excellent. Yes. Slim, could you show her the arrow we found yesterday?
Yes, I will reach into my body and pull out the arrow, or the bolt, rather. And I will just kind of hand it to her and say, if you feel the weight and balance of it, it's very finely tuned. It's nearly perfect, if not perfect. Something like this takes skill to craft, and this banding is strange. The copper metal around it. It seems like something only a person of means might be able to procure. Is there anywhere in Sigil where one who was looking for fine weapons would go?
Well, as to fine weapons, it can't do better than the armory. They don't know nothing about weapons that doesn't exist. So if you're looking for a rundown on who made that, could be them, probably them.
Well, that's an excellent tip. Thank you. I am going to reach into my coin pouch, and pull out, we'll say 2 silver, and just kind of press that into her palm. And I'll just kind of quietly say, listen, I'm really sorry about yesterday. I went through a period in my life when I was very short on Jink, and so I am often loath to part with it, but I felt very bad about what I said yesterday. So here, this is yours.
Well, that's awful kind of you. I do appreciate that. And so will them poor folk down at the asylum.
That's all I wanted to say. And I'll just kind of step back after that.
Okay.
Right. My next question is, if you were to procure poisons or the like in Sigil, where would that be? Are there places that are known for that, or is it more of a black market type thing here?
I personally, it's a bit like your friend Slim asked me about with the bolt. I'm not really much for fighting or shooting or poisoning folk.
Right.
I'm really kind of more of a pacifist myself, but if you're looking for something like that, I guess I could recommend the night market out at the gatehouse. Lots of less than legal interactions, transactions happen out there.
And that's back in the hive?
That is back in the hive. Best place to do business like that when you don't have the hardheads looking out for you.
I see.
Actually, it's happened regrettably close to my own HQ, the gatehouse.
Thank you.
Yeah. On the map, it's just a little bit east. It's like a hopper right over the ditch to the gatehouse night market.
I see it.
Now it is morning, so you won't be able to
Yes, of
conduct any
course.
business until dark. But maybe tonight I can take you there.
Let's see how today goes, shall we?
All right. Where do y'all want to go today? We got a whole day ahead of us and plenty of signal to see.
I look at the rest of you.
Oh, pardon me. I forgot. I was just about to tell you about them jobs.
Sure, why don't we start with that?
All right. So I told you I had three folks who were looking for people like you to do a little bit of business for them. One of them's my good friend. Runs a soup kitchen here in the Hive. He's a bleaker like me. Named Sai, and he is having some trouble with that soup kitchen. There's some folk that's been they go off in the morning okay, and they come back tired as dirt, hands rubbed raw. He thinks something's happening to him. Someone's taking advantage of these clueless. So if you can go and talk to him to get more of the details, I personally would appreciate that, and so would he. It doesn't pay as good as the other two, but I think he could make it worth your while in some other way.
All right.
He's offering a reward for 200 gold for that one.
And where did you say we could find him?
Oh, he runs a soup kitchen
In the Hive?
here in the Hive. I can
I
take you
see.
there.
I see. All right. And these clueless are his patrons, so to speak?
So to speak. People who ain't got nobody. They found themselves here in Sigil without any money, without any clue, without any idea of what's happened to them or how they can get home, and kind of, they just need a few hot meals to get back on their way. But there's predators here in Sigil.
I understand. All right. And the other jobs?
Right. So that second one is a fella I know out at the Bottle and Jug. He's he runs the pit fighting ring. It's one of them less than legal activities that happen around here in the Hive. Right. So there's this champion out at the Bottle and Jug who's been the reigning champ for unusual long time, and fella I know who put out the word thinks this fella's cheating. He's champion, but he can't figure out how. So if you're interested in that, the reward is higher. It's about 500 gold. Take on this job, and I can introduce you to that man at the Bottle and Jug.
All right. What is his name?
The client?
Yes.
His name's Gable.
All right.
Is this Gable a member of any particular faction, or?
Nah.
Just checking. I think it's going to be an important thing. I'm saying this to the rest of the group. I think it's going to be an important thing for us to consider which factions we work with, because the more we work with one faction or another, I fear we might start to be seen as having allegiances with them, and I don't know what that means yet.
You're probably right. Very astute as usual.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
And then that third job, I know you just kind of gave me a spiel about not wanting to work with one faction too much, but it's another bleaker like me. There's a kind of one of the factotums of the bleakers, Athax Darkfleece, runs the House of Rehabilitation. And he's looking for someone. He thinks that, I don't know, from what I hear tell, there's a cursed building or a curse on people. I didn't hear all the details, but he was looking for someone to help him bust up this curse that was befalling some folks.
Sorry, where did you say he works?
Works at the House of Rehabilitation, which is sort of a wing of the gatehouse.
And I know this is a very clueless question, but a factotum?
Oh, yeah. No, don't worry about asking me questions. I'm here to answer. I'm here to give you the doc things. A factotum is someone who's lower than the factol, but, higher than a namer.
And a namer?
What?
Selena's just scratching her head at this point.
I think Vadric does the little like head tilt, like.
Oh, a namer is someone who kind of just is in the faction for the prestige of things, or someone who doesn't really get involved on the day-to-day running.
I see.
All major factions in Sigil have some kind of duty, some kind of business to perform in Sigil. We got the governors, they run the courts, the hardheads run the police, etc., etc. Me and mine, the Bleakers, we run the asylum, the gatehouse. And so people who don't get really too involved in that kind of work are known as namers. Someone who takes the name but don't do the work.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
That's another 400 gold reward for that one.
All right. Figure out the curse plaguing the House of Rehabilitation.
Oh, it ain't the house, it's cursed. It's something else. You got to go there to talk to him. I don't know the details.
All right. Over table. Do we know where the gatehouse is? Did she point it out to us?
You don't know where you have a map of things, but I think at this point you're really still relying on Jenny to take you places.
Okay.
So, like, if you want to
It's
go
like-
there, she's happy to lead you just about anywhere in Sigil.
She brought us from the Smoldering Corpse Bar to this place through like a portal or something
Yeah.
too, didn't she? So,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So, you've seen, I hope you had a chance to study the map I provided to you. Maybe there's somewhere you caught your fancy. Maybe there's a job you're looking to do. Where shall we go first?
A breakfast? We were told not to eat the food here.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think any of us have.
Oh, good. All right, come along then. She would lead you from here, and I think she'll ask first. While we're getting going, how would you folk prefer to see Sigil? Do you want to take the easy way, the shortcuts, get from place to place without too much hoofing it? Or you want to take the scenic routes, see what there is to see of the city? Longer way, but y'all seem like some able-bodied folk.
I'm not sure how the rest of the group feels, but I would like to be able to begin to mentally track and map this place. So I would vote for the scenic route so I could.
I agree.
I think
I would
the
also
one
like to-
counterpoint to this proposal, though I think it would be wise to get our bearings, is that the longer we spend traversing, the more opportunities we give people like the man who assassinated our friend here to have another go at it.
Well, and I kind of hold my sword, like put my hand on the hilt of my sword. Like, we'll at least know that they're coming if they come.
Very well. And then if we're going to traverse the streets, I would just suggest we all stay close to Celine here so she can give us warning.
Sounds good to me.
The scenic routities, then I don't know what my voice did there. Don't worry about it.
All right. She will take you from the Bedrock Inn to a place that sells. It's sort of like a street stall that sells. I think she'll ask first. Any y'all squeamish about what you eat? I ain't gonna feed you nothing that you can't choke down, but I understand if you maybe want to not eat certain thing.
I haven't met a lot that I can't digest, so weirder the better.
All right. Well, I'm going to take you to the finest cranium rat on a stick establishment in Sigil.
That sounds
I've eaten
delightful.
worse. Yep, I've eaten worse.
Mm-hmm.
My people evolved from a creature that is designed to eat just such things. So,
Yeah, and the group of you head off to this like sort of street stall. It's basically a cart where like somebody has just like a bunch of fried rats on sticks, and you can see that these rats, like the carcasses of them, have these like really weirdly oversized brains. And you watch as she like eats it brain first. It's like, ugh. Gray matter is the best part. And she says, watch this. And then you all hear a voice in your mind say, look what I can do now, huh? little cranium rat snack never did anyone any harm when trying to sneak past people.
I think I just found a new favorite food.
I was thinking precisely the same thing. What an
You hear a
excellent
voice in your
benefit.
mind, I knew you were.
Yeah, I think Celine eats it without complaint.
Mhm.
Yeah, but Phaedra.
Yeah.
After hearing this, Phaedra just goes for it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, these-
Slim shoves the entire stick into
Yeah.
his head, and it just starts dissolving in there.
Does he even bother like
Nope.
creating a mouth?
Just like plunges it in with like a. Hold on, I have to turn off the setting with like a sound. And then, yeah, it just starts like bubbling and dissolving in his head.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So I think for the next hour or so, the 5 of you, counting Jenny, have the benefit of a Rary's telepathic bond.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
nice.
Maybe we should get some of these on the go in case we need to do this again.
Well, we know where the stole is now.
Yeah, where to after that?
What do we want to do next? Do we want to take on one of these jobs? Do we want to do some more research?
I'd like to take on a job. Can't say I'm very good with curses, but be one of the others.
Let's see.
I know we'd mentioned the armory to see if that's
Yeah,
a
I'm
lead.
trying to
We
locate
mentioned the temple.
The armor is in this ward.
Oh, there it
a little
is.
Bit,
It's-
a little bit northwest of your position.
right in the middle of my screen. I'm looking everywhere around it. Okay. And we're over by the Bedrock Inn. I see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And most of our jobs, actually all of our jobs were in the Hive. Is that
2
right?
of your jobs were so the Jenna
Bottle and
recommended
Jug.
the Gatehouse Night Market as a place where you could maybe go to learn about poisons. The
Mhm.
Gatehouse itself is a place where you can go to meet Athax Darkflame to get one of the jobs.
Mhm.
And in sort of nearby the Gatehouse is a soup kitchen where her friend Sai was looking to find out what's happening to the clueless under his care.
The bottle and jug is over closer to the smoldering corpse, it looks like.
Oh yeah, actually yeah, like all 3 of her jobs are basically in the Hive.
Yeah.
She kind of apologizes, says like, listen, I talk to certain folk, you know, I don't get out too much and have a lot of contacts outside the Hive. It's kind of my bread and butter is this sort of thing.
It's totally fine. Job is a job.
Yeah.
Well, the bottle and jug being the highest paying job is the one I would vote for, but I'm willing to look into any of them if any of you have a preference. Also going to the armory, or we can take a stop next to the gymnasium if you wanted to, Slim.
I will say the bottle and jug job appealed to me on a content basis as well.
Yes, I
Um,
thought you might say that.
I know I'm quite transparent, but
Hardy har har har. For the
Oh,
listeners
great.
out there, pretty much half the party just smacked their own foreheads.
I do think the armory would be a solid lead if we want to look into the make of this bolt, but perhaps we save that for after we've gotten our bearings a little bit.
Yes, we may need more funding if we're to investigate.
True.
That's fair.
And the bottle and jug one was the one with the glueless, right?
No, that was the fighting ring with
That's
the
the fighting
champion
ring.
who was
Okay,
cheating.
okay.
Yep.
I
Alright.
would like to help Jenny's friend in the soup kitchen, but we can do that later.
We could do both of them if time allows.
Look,
If we're closer to the soup kitchen now, we can swing by and see what he has to say. Maybe it's something that's easily solved.
Make a little money, do a little charity work.
Well, I could take one and leave the other, but money is money.
All right, so what's your first stop?
Did Jacket have a vote? What's Jacket doing?
I'm okay with the bottle and jug.
Yeah, I think Jacket wanted like the big payday from the bottle of jug, as I recall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most money is good.
Then it sounds like the bottle and jug.
Okay.
Bottle and jug.
You return to the hive. Jenny leads you back, and you see that, like, sort of weirdly, like, her guard goes up as the familiar sights of the hive. You kind of like cross this place called Sandstone Strip, and as you cross that into the hive proper, her guard goes up, but she also seems a little bit more at ease in a weird way. You all follow her close through these thronging crowds back to the bottle and jug, which she... Let's see if I can find my notes here. Do-do-do. As you enter, you see that this is basically, this is a dive bar, like many others in the Hive Ward. The first thing I think that gives you pause is that, unlike most of the other dive bars you've seen, which sort of like have more or less common clientele, just like, drunkards, warriors, things like that, this one seems to be run by this stunning looking woman who, whenever she turns her back to pour drinks, you can see that, like, the flesh of her back is exposed and she's missing two wings that have been, like, just severed uncleanly. But she seems cheerful enough. She laughs along with jokes. She greets the regular patrons as they come in. And Jenny kind of ushers you past all this and, like, points the way toward what looks like a lavatory that's out of order. And she says, right through here.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Lead the way.
You open the door to the lavatory, and it is a portal to an much larger space. As you step through, you can see that you are in sort of a lobby area in a huge arena. Right now, it's pretty empty, apart from there's sort of a reception desk, and behind the reception desk is a sort of glass paned office with, like, Chief Judge, this guy's name, Gabel, written on the frosted glass. And inside, you can't tell exactly because of the frosted, but whoever is in there, whoever Abel is a massive creature.
Oh, it's Abel, not Gable?
Gable. Yeah, sorry, it is Gable.
Okay.
I was gonna say, so
I misread it.
Chief Judge Gable.
Chief Judge Gable.
Right. massive creature.
Yeah. No one else is really here. It seems like, although the bar was hopping, this place seems kind of dead.
Yeah, early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I kind of glance at Jenny like, is she gonna knock or should I knock?
Do you want me to make introductions? I can.
Would it go over more smoothly if you do?
Oh, Gable's a fair sort.
All right, I knock.
Okay. You see the figure inside, just sort of like the head goes up and looks over at the door and says, "Come in."
Okay, I open
Don't-
the door.
You walk into the office and just like crammed behind a small desk is a huge pit fiend
Mm-hmm.
who is just like
Oh,
sort of like looking through a ledger unhappily, just like running a finger down the lines and seeing, and just like shaking his head again. Says, what do you want?
I want your money. Tell me about this champion who you think is cheating.
Oh, here for that job, are you?
Yes.
All right, all right. Are the rest of you following her in?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here's the situation. Business, as you can see here, was once booming and is now dried up. It is very difficult to get people to bet on a champion who's sure to win and has not lost a match in 6 weeks. The odds are completely fucked. I just don't understand how this champion can last again and again versus creatures that I know are smarter, better fighters, and stronger than him. It just does not add up. Whatever he's doing, it's uncharacteristically subtle for someone like him. I'm looking for someone to go into the ring and see if you can figure out up close how he's cheating. I should warn you, because I am a fair judge. You are not the first people I have hired to do this job. They tend to all die.
Well, that's not appealing.
How do the fighting pits work? Do they go in do people go in as teams, or is it a one-on-one kind of situation?
The one-on-one sort of match.
I see.
The rules are the rules, and I never bend them.
And I assume it's more physical fighting? Like, what are the...
Yes,
terms
tell
of
us
the
about this
fights?
champion.
Mhm.
2.
Champions, the Cyclops. You know what those are? Giants with one eye.
Never heard of one, but it sounds
What kind of elf are they?
intriguing. Well, it's a Cyclops elf.
It's a
This
Cyclops
question was
elf.
just answered.
Mhm.
One-eyed elf.
And yes, as Phaedric was asking, is there, what are the rules in combat? Anything goes? Hand to hand? No weapons? No magic?
Hand to hand, no magic, weapons allowed.
I see.
The people want to see blood sport, not two wizards pouncing around, tossing spells at each other.
I look at Slim.
No, I'm very well aware that if we do this, I'm the one going in the ring.
I was gonna say, because I look at Jacket and I...
You
down
look
at
squishy
myself,
now.
like,
You look squishy now, and this is not the way that you fight, is it, Celine?
It isn't, but I can be slippery if I need to be.
I put up a good
sure wish I
reward.
hadn't died.
I'm pretty good at perceiving and investigating, but I
If
can
you
also do that from the sidelines.
if you can tell me if you live through a match and can tell me afterward, how the cheating is happening, I'm willing to pay handsomely, 500 gold. I just don't fancy the chances of you two.
I appreciate
Now-
the vote of confidence.
I make fair assessments here.
Does it matter if the one who is doing the fighting is the one to identify how this champion is cheating? Or if, for example, my friends managed to deduce it while watching me fight, will that suffice?
You're thinking of detect magic, aren't you? Well, here's the problem. The arena is very large, and the fights happen in the middle of it. And spells like that have a limited range. I've tried everything.
I'll admit, I don't know anything about spellcraft, so I was not thinking of this detect magic, but I just thought maybe my friends looking in from the outside might have insights.
If they can... Your friends are welcome to watch. We've tried this too. I would love to enter the ring, but it's not allowed. Rules are rules. I am the judge, not combatant.
And
Chief Judge.
I assume you have already scoured his living quarters for evidence.
That we have.
And you've turned up nothing.
Turned up nothing. We would be casting Speak with Dead, but there's not enough left of his opponents to cast it on.
I see.
Have you tried tailing him?
We have. He goes to some odd places, but nothing that produced evidence.
So it seems that whatever he's doing it in the moment, in
Yes.
the arena. Okay.
I'm certain of that much.
What do you guys think?
Well, honestly, it's up to Slim, isn't it? If you're going to be putting yourself out there, this seems to be a champion that you would very much like to test your skills against.
Yeah, Slim kind of takes out his spear and is like spinning it absent-mindedly and kind of pacing a little bit. I am always looking for strong opponents to test myself against. But
Well, let me disabuse you of a certain notion, Slim, if that's your name. You're not here to fight this champion or beat this champion. That won't happen. You're here to last long enough against this champion and try and deduce in the ring what he is doing. I don't care if you win. I care if you live long enough to tell me what you find out. And you're unlikely to do that. I will say.
that's the point I was getting to. I also think I'm unlikely to do that. I'm all for fighting against strong opponents where I stand a chance, and that's a fine line. It doesn't sound like this is that, and I'll be honest, I'm not the smartest cookie in the shed.
On the other hand, I might be.
You think that you could survive the match?
I'm not sure, but I might be able to find something out before I die.
Yeah, I did mention we tried that before, right?
Yes, well, we did just eat some cranium rats. So I could deliver information as I discover it.
All right. If you're sure, I'll put out word to the champion that I've arranged the fight for tonight.
I look at Slim one more time, yeah.
Are you certain? I have a feeling that I might be able to survive a little bit longer, but you're definitely the thinker of the two of us, so...
Yes, I am the most observant one, aren't I? And I can be slippery when I want to be. Although if I take a hit or two, I'm done.
That's my concern. I feel like I have a better chance of avoiding those hits for a little bit longer. Maybe if we can re-up on the rats right before, and you can watch from the outside, and I can funnel my observations to you, and you can process them and deduce.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
Chief Judge, if we
Yes.
find something amiss during the fight, will you stop it immediately? Or will you let it... When will the fight be done?
According to the rules, the fight is done when one side wins. And I uphold the rules very judiciously.
So even if we
one
find... Sorry, go ahead.
can one win by their opponent forfeiting mid-match?
No, it's
Hmm.
not that sort of fight.
One last question, at least for me. Is it allowed to are we allowed to restrain our opponent in any way?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Gotcha.
If you choose the weapon, if your chosen weapon is some sort of net, I could do that, but he's rather a brute. I think he'd tear out any restraints that you placed upon him without much of a second thought.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll admit I'm scared, but I'll do it.
All right, there's a payday in it for you if you succeed, and if not, we'll make sure your remains don't. We'll at least make sure your remains don't fall into the hands of the dusters.
All right.
Settled then. And with that, the way he says settled, you get the feeling that some sort of law is being enacted right here. As
Oh,
he
great.
as he
Contract.
as he writes your name on one half of a versus sheet, and then starts starts pulling it up and sending it and handing it off to a runner. See that this gets to I forgot the dude's name. Accra. See that this gets to Accra. Tonight, then.
Oh my gosh. Well, no turning back now, I suppose.
It is what it is. What time did you say the match was?
Little bit before anti-peak.
Anti-peak. And it's still morning, so we're not even at peak, and I assume anti-peak is opposite to that?
You catch on quick. No wonder you agreed to this.
We'll see. If I'm a pile of goo at the end, just bottle me up.
That won't happen. I have faith in you. Thank you for your time, Judge.
Miss.
And I think I'll just turn in and walk out.
Okay. How'd it go?
Well, we may or may not have signed Slim off to his certain doom.
Well,
Yes, that's how it goes, isn't it?
he gonna be fighting Accra?
By the sound of it, yes.
Yep.
Is that his name? The Cyclops?
Yeah.
Accra?
Ooh-wee. Y'all pardon me if I maybe don't watch that fight. I've kind of taken a liking to you.
That's fair. But with any luck, we're going to figure out how he's cheating and, end the fight that way.
We are going to have some more of those cranium rats before we start the match.
I think alongside the cranium rats, Slim, if you can...
You see, like, Jenny's winces a little bit. And says, "Oh, if that was the plan, I maybe shouldn't have had those for breakfast."
Oh no, is it a once per day, once per week, once per year sort of thing?
It's a sort of thing where your system's got to kind of flush the effect before it can happen again. I was showing off a bit. I didn't know that you would need it.
No, that's all
No,
right. We'll find another way.
So
That's
if you could
fine.
direct the fight near where we're sitting or watching, then I could use detect magic beside something else I have prepared today to try and be the most observant about what could be happening.
I can do my best. I'm gonna need to get a look at those rules to see if there's anything about leaving the center of the arena, because that sounded important.
Yeah, can we actually see the arena? Can we
Yeah.
walk the premises and like?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no one will stop you from just taking a look around the arena. What are you looking to find out?
If it's possible for us to view in a place that detect magic would envelop the combatants in some way,
No. Detect magic, I believe, has a range of 60 feet?
it's a
30 feet?
30-foot radius.
Yeah. The radius of this arena is about 100 feet.
Okay.
From the center to where the walls start,
Mm-hmm.
and the seating, the bleachers begin, is about 100 feet. And you get the sense it's because some big fighters take part in the blood sport here.
So if Slim ran to one side of the arena, to the where the bleachers are,
Yeah.
and the Cyclops followed him against the
Yep.
bleachers, we still wouldn't be able to be in range.
No,
of that.
if Slim can lure the Cyclops, or if Slim can lure Akra to within 30 feet of where you're sitting in the bleachers, that would work.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Are there locker rooms?
There's dressing rooms. There's sort of, yeah, in a way, I guess. There are definitely places where there's a green room, I'll say. There's places where the combatants go while they wait for their names to be called and for all the pomp and circumstance that happen.
Right. Can I just check out the green room and see if I can see anything that piques my suspicion?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Okay.
I would also like to cast Detect Magic if we're actually investigating the area, to have that going while we're walking the premises and looking at things.
17.
Okay.
Not 17. 13.
13. Oh, okay.
I was calculating and I looked at my +7 and it inserted a 7 instead of 13. Yep, 13.
Yeah. With that, I don't think that you find anything out of the ordinary that you're not expecting to find in an arena back room or green room like this. Jacket, with Detect Magic up, you do detect some magical implements and devices, but they're mostly, when you examine them closer, you find that they're mostly for the operation of the arena. You know, like the gates that lead up out of the waiting rooms. Those are magically operated.
Okay.
You know, there's there are sort of magic mouths that tell the combatants all right, it's time to go, etc., that are magically operated. But you don't. There's nothing here that you find that would help someone win a fight.
Are we allowed to walk around in the arena too?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we check it out in there too.
Yeah, it's pretty empty. It's mostly a dust and sand floor. There are boulders kind of strewn about the place, either for cover or throwing. You're not really sure. But otherwise, it is open and there's just not a lot of implements in here that even could be magical.
All right. Well, if the chief judge hasn't found anything in his investigations yet, I really doubt we're going to find anything. So we ought to make the most of our day before the match. Maybe check in on that soup kitchen.
Okay.
I really ought not to get into any fights before this thing. So we should do whatever seems least dangerous.
Well, we could gather information at the very least. And just, if we do get ambushed again, try to preserve your resources. Leave it
I'll
to
do
us.
my best. Oh, I'm scared.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
You guys can see that like Slim has like those purplish nerve lines floating in the goo. You can see that they are like firing little electric pulses up and down, like the what would be the spine, pretty like at a pretty quick rate.
I'll just put my hand on your shoulder. Say, I'll be frank. The chances are, if you pardon the pun, slim. But you are the most capable fighter I've ever known. You'll survive.
And you have inspiration still.
Sure do.
That's true, I do. Well, I'll do my best, but well,
You'll be fine.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If he, like, we can't be in the ring with Slim,
No.
but could Slim have like a little guy with him? You know, just a little critter that's maybe on him.
That's
or
maybe
in
invisible.
him, question mark. That's it's just like a little unassuming little guy to give us eyes and ears, kind
Yeah.
of where Slim is. Or would big scary guy
if
be
you
like,
if you
no.
asked Jenny that, I think Jenny would know enough because Jenny comes here every now and then to watch the fights.
Mhm.
Although she's not rich enough to bet on them. Jenny would tell you that sort of thing is not permitted.
Okay.
And you had better be pretty sure of yourself if you want to try and sneak it.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I'm not very sure of
Because
myself.
the
personally.
judge's eyes, he sees.
I would imagine that also extends to any kind of magical protections we'd want to put on him before putting him in the ring.
That I don't know so much about. Not really my area of expertise either.
Because if we were going to go to the temple ward, we might be able to find someone to put a death ward on you to keep you from dying, at the very least. I know it's not something that I know how to do, but it is something that is possible.
Not a
Well,
bad idea.
I'm certainly up for that. And you wanted to go that direction anyway, so
I did want to go and visit the temples. It's worth asking for. It may not be cheap. But if we visit the Raven Queen's temple, we might be able to get it as a favor. Or Lathander, was it?
Not sure. Yeah, I'm just thinking like, not sure what help could. Not sure how he'd help, but any wisdom is better than where we are now.
Well, I mean, if you're a worshipper, I'm sure he'd do something for you, right?
Yeah.
To the temple ward, then.
Let's have the Lord.
All right. Hearing where you want to go, Jenny says, well, that is kind of clear across town. Would y'all prefer to go there across the clerk's ward or out past the lower ward?
Which way is the most expedient?
Well, like I said, it's clear across town. She points like straight up.
Oh, I see.
You know, 6-1, half dozen of the other.
Then whichever way you think we're less likely to get mobbed.
All right.
The way with less children.
She decides to take you past. She decides to take you through the clerk's ward, and the market ward. Let's see. Over to the ladies' ward, because this way you will. I think the way she's taking you, you're going to pass the Great Gymnasium if you're interested in stopping there.
Might be worth dropping in if you want to see if there's anything they can do to help you for your match.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know much about the place, but it did sound intriguing. I don't know what they could do to help, but maybe some advice?
Which ward is the Great Gymnasium in?
Great Gymnasium is in the clerk's ward. You're going to pass first through the market ward and then enter the clerk's ward and then go through there to the ladies' ward, where you will eventually reach the Temple District.
Got it.
Sorry, so one more time. The Great Gymnasium is in which ward?
It's in the clerk's ward.
Clerk's ward. Okay.
Or no, actually, it's in the market ward. You'll be passing through the clerk's ward first.
Well, I wouldn't say no to stopping in if the group of you don't mind.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's.
Okay. Jenny leads you that way, through the streets of the Hive, and you know, the other way, it's kind of like it's a different field than the lower ward. It's kind of a out here things are a little bit more opulent than they were in the lower ward, in the clerk's ward. It's a little bit, and this is a reference that's just not going to land with anybody, but like I used to live in San Francisco, and the Tenderloin into like downtown was like a very stark divide. You would go like 3 streets and go from just like a very poor, very just like kind of scuzzy part of San Francisco into like downtown where all the tourist stuff is, and it was the difference just like instant. And I think it's a kind of similar thing is happening as you leave the Hive and enter the clerk's ward. But there are still let me see. I remember what music I've got going on for the clerk's ward. Here we go. But there are still plenty of people walking around here. You know, Sigil is always a lively city, no matter where and when you are. There's not quite the crush of bodies here, but like, there's still people everywhere. And so you're kind of like pushing through the crowd as you follow Jenny pretty closely. And as you walk through the streets of the ward, taking care to stay close to your guide, you notice something happening in the distance before you. The crowd is parting like waves before an unseen presence, and they are like pressing themselves like sardines up against the walls of the building to either side. You turn to ask Jenny like what's going on, and you're surprised she is already beelining for a wall herself to lean against. And her head is like bowed low as she goes.
Slim will dart after Jenny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
following
we'll just follow
suit.
suit. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Jenny is like kind of one of the first people in your area to start doing this, but as the wave comes closer and closer, more people are like packing in and crowding against you. It's sort of like being in a mosh pit, like right up against the stage. People are like pressing up against you, just like very eager to get out of the way of whatever is happening here.
I'm definitely gonna pretend like I'm bowing my head, but I'm really watching to see what it is everyone is so afraid of.
Yeah. As the wave parting the crowds comes closer to you, you are able to see the cause. There is a robed woman, some 8 feet tall, advancing down the street. Not walking, you notice, as she gets closer, but hovering several inches off the ground. And her face is just covered in this metallic mask, and there aren't any holes in it where you would expect eyes or a mouth to be. It's all just this one sort of like sculpted face, but completely blank. And the mask is framed by this just like halo of blades, just emanating off in all directions. Her arms are crossed, just sort of her forearms disappearing into the billowing red sleeves, and she's not looking at anybody as she passes through, and people are like doing their absolute best to get out of her way.
Trying very hard not to think about her.
Are you still watching her?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
But I'm trying to be like stealthy about it, like
Yeah.
not obvious about it.
Yeah, I guess make a stealth check.
Sure.
What are the rest of you doing?
So I think Slim probably took a glance when she appeared, but then looked away,
Okay.
copying what everyone else is doing.
Oh yeah, that's 25.
Okay.
Shit.
Let's see. She comes closer and closer to your position, and then suddenly halts. And for a moment, there is absolute silence in Sigil, which is something you have not encountered since you arrived. Very slowly, her masked face turns in your direction. And none of you can see the face beneath the mask, but all four of you, even the ones who were trying to look away, find yourselves unable to not meet this glare, and you all feel, each one of you simultaneously feels like the eyes behind this mask are looking into yours. Everyone around you, all the sardines packed people, scatter. It's just the four of you. Everyone is making space around you. No one wants to be near you. No one wants to be anywhere near whatever is about to happen. And you can even hear Jenny's hoofbeats as she finds somewhere else to be right now. The four of you are just paralyzed and pinned beneath the stare of this creature, as her head almost imperceptibly cocks, regarding you.
I'm going to stand, straighten my posture and stand tall.
That does not happen. You are
Okay.
paralyzed.
Cool.
There's a fear in you that you've never felt before. Just an immortal pit of your stomach terror at being regarded by this creature. Her presence is so overwhelmingly powerful that you wish she was looking at anybody else.
So none of us can move right now.
She stands there, floats there, I should say, for many agonizing seconds, and then straightens her neck again, and her head masked face turns away from you back to the road in front of her. And the Lady of Pain goes silently on her way.
How long does it take us to regain control of ourselves?
Once she's out of eyesight,
Once she's out of eyesight.
yeah, she goes down the road and it passes behind a building, and you suddenly find yourself able to move again.
Well, that was terrifying.
Yes, it quite explains the reaction of the crowd, doesn't it?
Yes, it certainly does. I don't want to do that ever again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we can we avoid her? Just
Yeah, I'm not
Definitely.
sure that's going to be up to us.
fair.
I look about for Jenny.
Why did she stop and stare at us? That's what I want to know.
Why did
Together?
Phaedric come back from the dead? Why are we here?
A lot of questions.
Why can't we
Know
eat
it.
cranium rats?
These are the questions.
Yeah. Jenny comes back a little bit shamefacedly. About 5 minutes later.
5 minutes.
And I think she asked, "Are y'all okay?"
Do we look okay?
I mean, I wouldn't be if I were you. It's fine to say no.
I would say no. I will also say, though, I don't think any of us can blame you for running away. That was terrible.
Listen, I'm not ever gonna charge you more for my services, but y'all are not like any clients I've had before. I will say that.
Thank you.
I've been through worse. Can we go, please?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go right now. How about that?
Really looking forward to when Celine can't say that.
And she leads you through this. The journey from the bottle and jug to the Great Gymnasium is going to take you like 3 hours.
Oh well.
But she does lead you through there, kind of regaining her nerves as she goes until she's about an hour later back to her usual self, and takes you to the Great Gymnasium.
Great. Does it look like a great gymnasium?
It looks like a fantastic gymnasium.
I guess
Trying
we're
to
in the
look
wrong
at it on the
place.
map.
Yeah, I don't see the fantastic gymnasium on the map. All right. Well, let's go inside. See what this place is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I'll look up some of my notes real quick. As you enter, looking up some more notes. The Great Gymnasium is made of this. It's a sort of like cross-shaped structure, with like 4 giant wings, radiating out from a central courtyard, and their entrance is on all 4 wings. The one that you go to, you're stopped briefly and asked to check all of your weapons. It's explained to you briefly that although this is a place where ritual combat is allowed and encouraged to test yourselves against each other and the members of the gymnasium, it is all ritualized to an extent. There will be no true fighting in here. There will be no conflicts. There will be no strife. Is that understood?
Slim will nod and hand over the bow and the spear, but we'll kind of draw even with this person at the gate and say, "This spear is very important to me. Do not lose it. Do not put a scratch on it."
Sir, we take the security of all of the weapons surrendered to us very seriously.
Insight check.
Okay.
Eight.
8. You see no reason to doubt this person.
Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna Hand
Just-
over mine as well.
Just as the guests of the Great Gymnasium are safe with each other, so are your weapons safe with us.
I hand over my weapons as well, but when I hand them my rapier,
Mhm.
I give him a look and I say, "Not a scratch."
Make another insight check.
13.
He is so tired of hearing this. All day long, people come to him and explain to him how important their weapons are to them, and nothing had better happen to their weapons because they're very important to them. And all day long, he has to say, I assure you, nothing is going to happen to your weapons. We take the security of those things surrendered into our care very seriously. And he means it, but he's so tired of saying it.
I lean in and give him like the mean mug. Like,
Yes.
I'm looking at you,
Yes.
trying to be a bit intimidating about it. Like,
Mhm.
I know you hear this all the time, but I'm fucking serious. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes, of course.
does Phaedric notice this person's demeanor at all?
Roll an insight check.
Dirty 20?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, then he's just gonna hand over all his stuff. Like, he won't say anything, he'll just give him a big
Yeah.
smile.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you.
Let's see here.
Happiest warlock ever.
Do you also hand over your chain of binding?
No.
Okay.
Is that
Make a
a weapon?
make a deception check.
17.
Okay, let's see here. Give me a second to look something up. Oh wow. He rolled a 1.
Oh wow.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah.
And I was
So
over here
you're-
nervous. I was like,
You're able to sneak in your arcane focus and your chain. But he is going to look at a jacket and request your staff and your book, please.
Oh, he wants my spellbook?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not. Wait, what's his
Weapons
name?
mean weapons. And we have
Dusty.
a very
Dusty.
liberal definition of what constitutes a weapon.
You okay with this, Dusty?
He seems like a nice guy. I don't remember Dusty's voice. I'm sorry.
We're just making it up every time, and I'm totally
Yeah.
okay with it. Hey, yeah, all right then. And then he'll very reluctantly hand him Dusty.
Can I just list all of the weapons that Celine has? Because I think this will
Yes.
be really funny. It'll be
Sure.
one of those where it's like, oh wait, hold on. I also
Yeah,
have this
yeah.
one strapped to like the inside of my thigh. Because
Go
she
for it.
has obviously the rapier, the Raven's Whisper, which is her main weapon.
Mhm.
Which she'll hand over. That's what she gets kind of fussy about. But then she's like, okay, then I have this short bow strapped to my back, and I have this dagger in my belt. And then she kind of thinks about it. She's like, oh, I have another dagger like in my sock. Here you go. And then she like is thinking, and she's about to walk away, and she's like, oh no, I have a short sword in my backpack. Here's that. And then she goes, yeah, is a string a weapon? Hands it over. And then she also has a hammer that's just like an ordinary hammer, but she's just like, yeah, take it. And then a crowbar. She like pulls the crowbar out. She's
Oh, if
like,
crowbars count, I've got one of those as well.
she's just like, I
Slim
don't
pulls
know.
that out.
Just like this pile of stuff on her.
Celine,
Yeah.
this guy is too polite to really let it show outward, but he hates you.
It's fine. She's like, oh wait, I do also have this bag of ball bearings. Does this count, or can I keep this on me?
Give me the ball bearings.
I hand over the ball. Well, that's it.
this is all like annotated and noted and tagged, and like
Yep.
your name is written down. It's like, all right, is there anything else you have to declare?
Above table, I also
Yeah.
have a vial of acid and a vial of poison. Do those also count?
Yeah, he wants those.
Yeah, so I'll be like, yes, I ought to also just, you know what, just take my whole pouch. It's
Mhm.
got like the acid and the ball bearings and the poison in it and the
have-
manacles.
Excellent news, miss. I am
And I'm a
unlike
hunting trap.
I am unlikely to forget you or what you have declared here today.
I'm counting on it.
An impressive
stop.
hall boss. Very impressive.
Yes, I've collected quite a few things over the years, haven't I? I think Celine looks a little bit proud as she like stalks off. I was just going through my inventory like, wow, I have to check a lot of shit. If spell books count, well, I'm sure they're gonna want this piece of string.
That could be a garrote in the right hands.
Exactly. Or this python. It's very pointy on one end. Could do a lot with it. Under the right circumstances.
He's so done with you.
I think also having had the interaction earlier and seeing how fed up he was before with us being like, take care of my weapons, I think she's leaning into just being obnoxious now.
Yeah.
I'm imagining
Just to be spiteful.
I'm imagining that's why he rolled a 1 with Faderic, because by that time he was already
Yeah, because
like,
Celine was like
completely,
totally just like,
oh my god, please stop. Yes, you can just
Yeah.
go. Just go, please.
Yeah.
no,
Get out
I'm
of my
done.
head.
Yeah. I do keep
And
the compass of tracking in my pocket though.
yeah, that's not a weapon. He's fine
Yeah.
with that.
Yep. Okay.
After all this rigmarole and is finally done, and he's finally filed away all your possessions and given you your tickets to come claim your weapons at weapon check, he asks, now what is the purpose of his visit that I might direct you? Are you here
Like to
for
leave.
yeah?
Actually, this has all been a mistake. We're just gonna leave.
Don't listen to them. Listen, we're obviously new to Sigil, and I have an interest in the martial arts and the perfection of said arts, and was told this was a place. I'm just hoping to visit and learn a little bit.
I see. In that case, I would direct you to the public sparring quarters. And he kind of points to a building in like the central courtyard. Go there and ask for Golgraz.
Golgraz?
Yes,
All right. Golgraz it is.
an evaluator of the Transcendent Order.
I will head that direction.
Okay. Are the rest of you following, or are you going off doing your own stupid thing?
No, I'll stick with Slim.
Okay. You go to where Jenny actually declares almost nothing. Jenny has like a knife that she hands over and doesn't make a fuss about whether she gets it back or not, because she clearly doesn't care. But all the same, she does go through the motions of like having it be registered and tagged and get the ticket and all the same. So the 5 of you head off toward the sort of low-slung building that the gate guard pointed you to. And when you go inside, you see that it is a sort of large, open, single room with partners here and there sparring with each other. Some of them are being watched over by sort of a trainer. Others are apparently just sort of doing it for themselves, just practicing against each other. And if you ask around for Golgraz, you're pointed toward a red-skinned man who has large, fiendish bat wings and a big pointy tail, as well as horns, red horns from his head.
I will go talk to him.
Okay. He is, for the moment, when you first walk up to him, he's sort of like pacing around a circle where two fighters are sparring against each other, just sort of quietly noting their form and every so often speaking up. It's like, faster. Pay more attention. A little short, pithy pieces of advice for the two fighters sparring inside. And once their match is over and they bow to each other and sort of separate, he's free to have a conversation.
Hello, excuse me.
Hello.
Hi. My name's Slim. I'm sort of new in the cage. I'm sure it's quite plain.
You use a lot of words.
Yes, this is true. I can try to trim that down. Give me a moment to collect my thoughts. I do fighting. I was told this was a place to come. I have to fight someone very scary later. Any advice?
You're improving already.
Thank you.
However, you made one critical error, which is that you collected your thoughts.
And that was a mistake?
Yes.
Uh,
What's your AC?
Okay. Let's see, it's 17.
Okay, let's see. He just out of nowhere attempts to strike you. Let me look up this guy's. You said it was 17?
Supposed to avoid
Mhm.
fights, Slim.
I know. And I just walked straight into one.
Don't use any key points. You'll be okay. We'll take a short rest.
I can get key points back at a short rest, though. So,
So a 23
there you
would
go.
hit you then.
yes.
Okay. You are pushed away. He's not trying to damage you, so you don't take damage, but you are shoved like 10 feet.
When Slim slides to a halt, he has slid into a fighting pose.
Good. That is what you should have done from the beginning, he points. Your instincts were correct, but late. You thought too much when I struck. You should have immediately acted.
You're saying I should have started off by punching you in the face?
Yes.
Noted for next time.
He says, you are new here. You are clueless. It will take you training to learn not to think, because you have spent your whole life thinking. But we can train that out of you.
Slim kind of nods. He's not convinced. Something about that is pulling him, like it's rubbing him the wrong way, but he kind of nods. Right. Have you ever heard of someone named Adric? Or not Adric, Akra? Where did I
No.
get Adric?
He says immediately, no.
Okay. Ever fought a Cyclops?
Yes.
Tips?
When?
That's the plan. What if the Cyclops is cheating?
Don't fight.
Too late for that. Have to fight.
Trouble.
Indeed.
I will teach you basics of the transcendent order thought. Provided. Are you interested in joining?
Possibly. I'd need to see around.
Yes.
And
No.
interested, yes. Convinced, no.
I see. I forget that you have not had all of your thoughts yet.
This is true. Sorry, I just needed to take a note on that because that was a weird thing to say. Yeah. Slim will kind of look at this guy and say, does your faction have any literature?
Yes.
Can I have some?
No.
Understood. Would you show me around?
No. I am an evaluator. I evaluate those who wish to join. If you are interested in joining, I will evaluate you. If you are not, I have no interest in you.
Slim will look back to the rest of you and say, do you mind if I take a quick evaluation?
That's why we're here. Can I, while we're giving me the chance to have my mic on, I wanted to insight check him when he said no very quickly after saying he doesn't know Accra.
Yeah.
I want to insight check there, see if he was lying.
You don't even need to make the roll. You can tell just from the way he acts in his body language and how quickly he speaks, this man never lies.
Okay. Then yeah, that's why we're here. Take the evaluation.
He calls out, Carmina! And a gith in similar looking robes, but like plainer and less decorated, immediately just like snaps to attention and jogs over. And says, yes, Goldgrass. He points to Slim and says, you will fight this one. Roll initiative immediately.
Immediately. No second thought.
She's like already going for you. As soon as he says you will fight this one, she's ready. She's gonna do it.
20 initiative.
Ooh. Yes. 21.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right, we've already established that your AC is 17. In just like a blinding blaze of attacks, Carmina lashes out at you on pure instinctive reaction. Let's see here. However, they all miss.
Oh my gosh. Slim just like opens a hole in his stomach for one of the fists to go through, bends to the side in an impossible angle for another kick to pass by, is just dodging left and right.
Yeah. And you hear Goldgrass roar with approval. Good.
What was that?
Good.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, Slim will fight back.
Okay. Make your attacks.
So Slim kind of lashes, like goes for like a full palm attack, and that's 24.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit.
And then a foot comes around to attack again, and that's 26.
Yeah, those both hit.
And that is 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. She is reacting already to one to try and like deflect part of the blow. How much did you say that was? 24?
It was 7 plus 10 for 17.
Oh, 17. Okay. But it's a very weak deflection, and she's only able to roll with it a little bit.
Slim notices the move though, and like kind of takes interest in that. That's pretty cool.
And I think before you can get the words out, she's on you again. I gotta open up my calculator app because I forgot to plan for any of this. Let's see. All right. Yeah, she's immediately another flurry of attacks comes your way. 2 of them hit this time. So let's see. You will take 14 bludgeoning damage.
Oof. Okay. Slim kind of like takes both of those and rolls back a little bit with the second one,
Mhm.
and kind of shifts into a more defensive stance.
Mhm.
And instead of attacking with my bonus action, I will use a key point to do patient defense.
Okay.
And then we'll just make one attack. That's a 21
That hits.
for only 6 points of damage.
She deflects part of that one too.
That's a good move. I like it.
What's going on with the calculator? I typed 33 minus 5 and got negative 58. Which I don't think that's how that works. Okay, that's better. Yeah. She doesn't speak, doesn't acknowledge anything, is just like on you again. I think this is only one hit though. Yeah, take 7 bludgeoning damage. Oh wait, no, these are all at disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah, okay. Let me roll that one hit that was at disadvantage. Well, you avoided a crit, but you're
Well,
still
that's
going to take that 7 bludgeoning.
Okay. 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 Flurry of blows this time. 3 attacks total.
Okay.
Oh no, one of those is no good, but one is a crit. 11 is the one that's no good.
Yeah. And remember, for crits, we're doing max damage plus another roll.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Plus your damage modifier.
Let me do my third attack just to see if that
Okay.
hits. No, it's even worse. Okay, so the only one that's gonna hit is the crit.
Okay.
So it's the maximum damage for an unarmed strike. That's 9, and then I roll it again.
Yeah.
So that's another 3.
Okay. So 12 all told.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's still up, and it looked like the one that you got through hit her so hard she wasn't able to deflect it. But she is going. You're not patient defending anymore, right?
No, because I
Right.
I needed my bonus action to try
Yeah.
and flurry, and then both of those missed.
Okay. 2 of these hit. For another 14 bludgeoning damage.
Slim goes down.
Okay. The Golgraz, I think, like, sort of like puts a hand on Carmina, who steps back and doesn't press the attack, and like goes down to treat you, to like basically get you back up to 1.
I step in
Mhm.
and I hold my hand out before he can touch Slim, and I kneel down and do I'll do my healing hands on him.
Okay.
Like, this is something that I've done a million times for him.
Mhm.
2d4 hit points. And that is 4.
Nice.
Okay. When Slim is conscious again, you see that Carmina has gone back to train with somebody else, And Golgraz tells you, listen, this is the way of the Transcendent Order. You must be one with the planes. You must know what to do at all times. Be ready for whatever comes. I saw the way you move. You are ready for some things, but not others. You have not trained yourself to stop thinking and to simply act. Know always what the right action is and simply do that action. It's not easy. It took me years to learn what the right action was in every situation. It took a lot of careful meditation, a lot of thought, a lot of study. You have not had that study. You do not understand what it means not to think. You think that I am telling you that thought is useless. I can see it in your eyes. But what I mean to say is that you need to have your thoughts now so that they don't burden you later when the time is to act. Do you understand?
Slim thinks and then grimaces at the fact that he has just thought and says, no. But I will have thoughts about it. And then hopefully next time I can act better.
Good. I will see you again.
Yes.
He smiles. Carmina will see you again.
Slim grimaces again. Yes.
Good. You are not on our way yet, but in time you could be. And then you would be very powerful indeed.
Slim nods and then kind of steps back, gives a bow, and then
He bows back.
turns back to his friends, and Slim's kind of droopy right now. And he just kind of looks to the group of you and shakes his head and says, I'm dead tonight. I'm going to die. And then just like a piece of Slim falls off and hits the floor with a plop.
That
Let's
seems
get
like a
some
pretty
lunch.
good place to end tonight's session.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks to everyone for playing. I think we're coming back next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Excellent. See you all then. Good night.
Bye.